Welcome to Salaam Nerds Podcast. We do reviews and recaps of nerd culture, reality TV, and current events from this week.
Yo, it's Salaam Nerds. My name is Dean, aka Watch Me Deep, and I'm here with my boy Chad.
We drop live episodes on YouTube on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. All episodes can also be found everywhere podcasts are found. Thank you to all our supporters. Please help us by subscribing and leaving a good review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yo, Salaam Nerds. This is your boy Neebs, aka Watchman Neebs, and I'm here with my co-host Jeff, aka DJ Megatron.
Again with Megatron?
Did I do Megatron before? I didn't do Megatron before.
You've done Megatron.
I don't think so. I beg to differ. If you can go back and find the episode that I did, Cole Jazz Megatron, we will give you $20.
Hey guys,
gift cards.
Although, go back and do it. I'm gonna make sure Neeps pays up on this one.
I will pay up. I will pay the
pay
F up. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it to it. Guys, welcome to Salaam Nerds Weekly. If you don't know what Salaam Nerds Weekly is, it is our weekly podcast where we cover all of this week's current events and we do a little trivia at the end called Salaam Nerd Facts.
I love it. I think the facts are the most popular thing we do.
The facts are actually very popular, and they go viral. I remember the last one that went viral was the one about there were Samsung butt robots. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, with the phones and the butt robots would test if they would break. Yeah,
Samsung makes these phones, and basically what happens is they have these robots with butts, and they just test the phones that if you sit on your phone, it won't break.
Yeah, they need the right curvature, in the real world.
They have 5 settings: is white woman yoga pants, and then thick, and then Yokozuna. Those are the 3 types they have.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, let's get to it. Let's get to some news. So if you have not been following Salaam Nerds on Instagram or on Twitter, we have this new thing where we do is called Salaam Nerds News. And whenever a news breaks, we cover it. So not only do we cover it and let people talk about it and let people discuss it on our Instagram page, but we also discuss it on the podcast at the end of the week. So all of the things that we posted on our page gets talked about on the following podcast. So if you see something really cool that we posted and you want to hear us discuss it, you should come on that week's episode at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. So let me go into our page and find what we've actually been talking about.
Ramsey's Love is Blind, and talk about his Palestine imperialism and everything he did.
Lots of
that
stuff.
Clip is really cool.
Yeah, that stuff is really cool. So let's talk about some cool stuff. Actually, we haven't done an episode in such a long time that we're probably back some. There is, let's see, one of the huge news that we got. Rugrats is coming out with a movie, and it's going to be
CGI,
live action / CGI. So the parents are going to be live action and the babies are going to be CGI. That is going to be so creepy. No, thank you.
It's like Uncanny Valley. You know what that is?
Yeah, Uncanny Valley. It's
that's what it's going to feel like to me.
It really is. It really is. And they actually tried to do a CGI Rugrats before, but it was all CGI, not half CGI, and it was still pretty bad.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah.
And one other thing I'm going to tell you is, do you remember how old the parents were in the Rugrats?
They're in their 30s, right?
Oh, brother.
What?
It's not 30s. It's late 20s, early 30s.
Shut up. Originally I thought they were going to be in their 40s, but then when Jazz asked me the question, I was like, all right, let me go down a little bit because it's probably a trick question. It turns out it's even lower. They're in their that's not right. They're in their
Bro.
20s, their parents.
Bro. Okay, so Dee Dee and Stu, right? They were the parents of the Pickles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the mom, she was 32. The dad was 33.
That's insane. Like, that's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
How hard was Stu working? He was not looking good for a 33-year-old. He was going through it. Man was struggling.
Yeah.
Making toys in his basement.
Yeah, he was 32. And then he was 33 and Dee Dee's 32. And like this also reminds me of The Simpsons. Homer Simpson was 36 and Marge was 34.
That's crazy. That age doesn't even compute. Oh, no, Homer definitely has to be in his 40s. He's middle age.
Look it up.
Next thing you're gonna tell me if like Mr. Burns was in his 50s. Like that man is in his 90s.
Okay, I'm googling it right now. Okay. Due to the floating timeline, Homer's age has changed occasionally as the series developed. He was 34 in the early episodes, 36 in season 4, 38, 39 in season 8, and 40 in the 18th season.
Okay.
So Neebs, he's younger than you.
I mean, he's also more happy than me. He has a house and a wife and 3 kids and a job
union job at a nuclear plant
and a union job. Homer he has the dream. I don't know what people are talking about. He's got friends at the bar. He has more friends than I do. Jazz, you're my only friend.
God damn it, Neebs, you're my only friend too, man.
I know. He's got a bar full of like Lenny and Carl and Barney. He's got so many friends.
We have failed at life.
Oh man, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And he's got like 1 kid going to Harvard, like freaking Lisa. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, it's going to be Unvalley. It's going to be super
Uncanny
gross.
Valley, yeah.
Uncanny Valley. Everyone in the comments saying thumbs down. Religiously Nerdy says, God, can't they come up with anything original? Brown Boy Wonders is the thumbs down. And Spider Swars gives it the oh my God, Hollywood reaction.
I love how we're all unanimously aligned on this. It's not even close. It's unanimous.
I think no one's happy about this. Everyone's like, what is going on here?
Yeah. What are you looking at?
Sorry, my lamp is like covering the comments. I want to see if there are any comments in there. All right, next story. Nev Campbell will return to Scream franchise, but the fans still plan to boycott because of the mistreatment of Melissa Barrera. So
absolutely,
they're making some headway with the franchise. They brought back Nev Campbell. They hired someone to be her daughter. I don't know who the actress is, but it's going to be about her daughter. And people are like, no, it's not good enough. That franchise is dead to us. And honestly, Melissa was the one who revived that franchise and saved it with Jenna Ortega. And it's not worth it without them.
Yep, I agree. I'm out.
I'm not watching it. It's over. So we're kind of done. So people in the comments are like boycott XXX. So we are not working on that. So yeah, Scream 7, we're not about it. It's on the boycott list.
Good luck to them.
I think the 2 biggest movies that are on the boycott list is the Captain America 4 and then Scream. Those are the 2. Everything else
is on the boycott list with the changes they're making.
So we'll talk about that. So let's talk about that. So next one we're going to talk about. That's actually the next one I was going to talk about. So basically, according to Daniel RPK, they are cutting all ties with Israel in the Captain America 4 A Brave New World. So originally, this character, Ruth, is a Mossad agent who has mutant powers, and she's kind of like Israel's Captain America. She's also happened to be named Sabra, which was not named after the massacre, but she still shares the name of the massacre, even though her character was created like maybe like 2 years before the massacre. It's still a bad look to share the name. But like this was a character nobody wanted. Nobody in the Jewish community wanted it. They wanted things like a Jewish Moon Knight. They wanted a Jewish Ben Grimm. They wanted Jewish.
Ben Grimm was so Jewish. Like,
yeah, right. They wanted like all these iconic characters to be Jewish and have Jewish actors actually play them. Right.
Correct. Yeah.
And they were like, no, we're gonna give you this. We're gonna give you this like
we know what you want.
right?
We know you want propaganda.
Yeah, and a lot of who've been on our show, Sarah, who's been on our show, Danielle, who I'm a mutual with, she's brought up like a lot of points about like, hey, this is not what we were asking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Moon Knight's Jewish heritage is a huge part
Absolutely
of the character, and not only did the show not do it justice in the terms of like how it was written and portrayed, but as much as I love Oscar Isaac, he's not Jewish.
He's not.
Right? So that's kind of a thing. But it is what it is. But this character
It needs to be improved, though, man. Like it needs to be improved. Like
it definitely needs to be improved. Absolutely. And I'm very happy with the Ben Grimm stuff, so that's going to be good. Superman,
they do him justice. Yeah, Superman. Yeah,
Superman being played by a Jewish actor, which is good. Even though Superman's not Jewish, he is very Jewish coded, and his creators were Jewish, so that's really cool. So we love that. But this blatant propaganda with Israel is not what anybody wanted. Nobody was looking for this character. This was nobody's favorite character. This was an obscure character that was going to just vanish, right? Not the 30s, I think the 60s, but still, it was supposed to vanish. It was created for propaganda. It's not like, oh, they're like making a character and tying them to propaganda. It was made specifically for propaganda, which is why it's problematic, right? The comics show them doing so many things like saying that Arabs are not people, but then having to learn that they're people because the Hulk teaches them something like that. Like it's really poorly done. It's very cliche. And they have scenes. They never called them Palestinians in the comics. They always called them Arabs because obviously they, it adds to the erasure of the Palestinian people. So they won't call them Palestinians. So that's also in itself very problematic. So they'll never do that. And then they'll have like, there's a scene where she's in her fighter jet and she's talking about this happened to my family, and they try to make it like part of her backstory is like the Arabs did something terrible to her, right? So it's very problematic. It's not good. Nobody wants this. And then what they're deciding to do is they're deciding to remove all ties to Israel, because in the movie there's a line where she says she's from Tel Aviv. So they have removed that line, and now she's just a Black Widow. We don't know where she's from, which people are hailing as a win. And a lot of other people are saying it's not enough because she is still the character Ruth, which is tied to this character Ruth in the comics, and still kind of, brings her from obscurity into mainstream, which is problematic in itself. So there's two schools of thoughts about what's happening there.
Yeah. But they're not exactly exclusive. Like,
yeah,
like it can still be problematic that her name's Ruth and it invokes all this, but it's also a win that she's a widow now.
Yeah. So the biggest issue that people have with that, it legitimizes the character and like saves it from its obscurity into mainstream. That's an issue. But the fact that she won't be from Israel and they won't mention that, that could be a good thing. But she is going to be heavily featured in the movie. Like my hope was that she was just some obscure character who died in like the first 5-10 minutes. That's not happening. Case. Yeah,
come on, you can't get someone who commands star power just for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then also even without the character, the actor Shara Haas, she is also very problematic and full blown, Zionist who has done propaganda videos where they call Arabs like savages, and they call them like, like the people of Israel are like little bear cubs, and the Arabs are the wolves that are coming into their house to kill them and stuff like these really problematic propaganda cartoons for kids, and it's just really, really bad. Not a good look.
Not at all.
So I am happy that they did make these changes. A lot of people are saying it's not enough. The other side is it is a movie about a Captain America that is Black and is Sam Wilson, and you definitely want to make sure that you don't toe the line of protesting this movie and being anti-black, right? And it's
Yes.
really difficult to toe that line. And like all we can say is that, use your best judgment is what I can
Yeah, this
say
is
at
why I was
this
like,
point.
is it still on the boycott list because of the changes? Like,
The changes are great.
I do want to support Sam Wilson as a black Captain America.
Yeah, because there's so much unnecessary hate. And the last thing I want is for the movie to be unsuccessful and for the narrative to be that it was because it was the black Captain America, it was the black director, and not the fact that they chose a very problematic character to be in the movie and a very problematic actress to be in the movie. Right? It's on the official BDS boycott list, and it has to be something that if that's the bare minimum of like what you're supposed to do. So right now I am at the stage where I'm like, listen, I'm still boycotting this movie, but I am not telling other people to boycott this movie, especially the black community. That's up to them.
Absolutely.
I won't be watching it. But we see Sam Wilson in anything else, I am 100% going to be there. Going to support the hell out of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe I'll just go watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier again. I don't know. But
that's a cool little way to put it. Like, yeah, the movie comes out at like 7 p.m. on like a Thursday. And like all of us get on and watch Falcon and Winter Soldier again on Disney Plus, and as a form of protest. And then Disney's like, why the hell are people watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now?
Right?
When we have a movie in theaters. Like, that would be a really cool thing to do, actually.
That would be cool. I would like to see that. All right. In other news, boycott news, I guess. The show Velma has been canceled after 2 seasons.
Are we upset?
Yes. Psych. No. So here's the thing, right? I am sad for the animators. I don't want anyone to lose their job.
Yeah.
Right. But this is like, it'll be fine. You'll get back in the rotation and you'll find a new job. The way it works with animators and writers is that like every year there's a cutoff where they're either going to have a new season or they go into this like pool and then they get picked up for other stuff. That's kind of how it works. That's what someone told me. And, hopefully they'll go and they'll like, try to get on other projects. I don't think this was a great project to be on in the first place. I think losing out on this job is not that, trust me, it's not something to go cry about, because this wasn't something you should be proud of, because this show was very problematic.
Don't put it on your resume.
Yeah, honestly, the animation is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the animation. It's cool. It's very like the Harley Quinn show, Kite Man, that kind of stuff. Super cool animation. No problem with that. But the jokes were so tired. They were so lazy and they were so problematic. And I never agree with the forced diversity trope that everyone likes to say. And it's like, oh, it's woke. This is the first time that like, I'm like, no, I kind of agree. I feel like they just made these characters different races so they could shit on these different races. Because making Velma Indian, they did nothing with that except make fun of Indian culture. They make fun of Indian food. They make fun of like Indian families. Like they make fun of how Indians look. Like it's just like Mindy Kaling perpetuating her own insecurities into this character, which we've seen her do time and time again. And it sucks because like I do think Mindy Kaling is very talented, but she's never evolved from the same jokes.
Yeah.
From the same joke she was telling in the 90s. Like we have evolved, not the 90s, maybe the 2000s, but we have evolved as people who take in comedy, and we've heard all these jokes before and all these variations, and it's just the same joke in a different format. If like you go into ChatGPT and be like, hey, make a joke about Indian food, and like be like, that's it. That's what comes out.
Hold up. Actually, ChatGPT might be funnier. Let me test this out real quick.
Are we gonna do this right now? Are we going live?
I'm totally doing this right now. Make a joke about Indian food.
Yeah. And let's see if it comes out better than the Mindy Kaling writing.
Indian food is a lot like a Bollywood movie. It's got all the drama, spices, and a little bit of action, especially the next morning.
Wait, that's not bad.
ChatGPT just beat Mindy Kaling.
That's actually not bad, actually. Right? Because like her joke about Indian food was just that like Indian desserts are bad, like, and then
Yeah.
she got heat for it on the internet. It was like, oh, I hadn't gotten this much heat since I was on the group chat and said Indian food was bad, like, or on the streaming. I don't know. It was a really bad joke, but yeah, that it already beat me in the killing. I think that's pretty funny.
That's amazing, though. Honestly, props to ChatGPT for that one because that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are in the comments. We got Amulia. She's saying it truly missed a mark. I couldn't watch it after 2 episodes. Vanta creates goes, yes, I prayed for this.
Bro.
That's pretty funny. The Alleyway says, I'm surprised it lasted that long. Even it was over for me after the first episode. A lot of people are like they were the season 2, and then Joshua the King says, that's wonderful news. Here's the thing about season 2. I think they actually bought this show as a 2-season show, as like a bundle. So they paid for the whole 2 seasons, and it was like a situation where like whether you show the second season or not, you're paying for the second season. So I think that's something what happened, because the second season was like greenlit before like ratings or anything even came out for the first season.
That makes sense. Yeah. So they probably did a bundle, and well, yeah, it's probably one of those things that stays in the vault and it's a tax write-off.
Yeah. Another news, Aaron Pierre has been casted as Jon Stewart for the upcoming Lantern series.
Yo.
So this is controversial. I don't know if you know about it.
What's controversial about it?
So actor, amazing. People are like, yo,
Yeah,
this
right.
guy's gonna kill it. Fantastic actor. Great work on everything he's been on. But here's the thing, and it's something that I don't feel 100% talking about it, so I'm just going to share it, but I'm not going to go into detail. But a lot of my mutuals and creators, Straw Hat Goofy, and a few others have brought up the fact that Jon Stewart should be a darker skinned black man, and Aaron Pierre is light skin.
That is something I would have never thought about. But I
Right?
can see how that's a problem for a lot of people. Yes.
And like
Okay.
as people from South Asia, we also deal with colorism. So when like the black community is like, "Hey, there's an issue with colorism here," and I'm like, "Oh, bet." Like we get it. We've seen it.
I'm in. I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Hollywood has actually done a better job with darker skinned Indian actresses than Bollywood has. That's what's really, really sad. Right? So
That's true. Yeah.
right? Like Simone Ashley, you know, like she is a star, right? And it's just one of those things where you're just like, come on, India, what's going on? But yeah, that is an issue. And the thing is, Green Lantern, when he was created by his creator or the person who came up with the character, he purposely made him number one. He had to someone with a respectable job. And number 2,
military man, yeah.
Whatchamacallit, number 2, he was going to be a darker skinned black man.
Yes.
Right.
That absolutely takes away from the heritage and the backstory of the character.
Yeah.
Like I'm with Straw Hat Goofy and everybody. Like that makes perfect sense. That is definitely controversial.
And the thing is, nobody is at this point is like, hey, we're going to boycott this. No one is saying, hey, we need to be recast. All people are saying is that, hey, this is the problem, and don't ignore it. And so the same thing happened with me when I was watching Miss Marvel, right? They casted a guy who was half white, half Pakistani, didn't have an accent, and was white passing as Red Dagger. And I'm like, I don't love this. This sucks. But the show had done so many other things right. And it was such a huge step for us where I was like, I'm not going to nitpick this. I'm going to let it go. It's still a win, even though it's not as good as I thought it was. It's not ideal, but it's still a win.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people feel that way about it. And I think like it's fair. But I also think this actor is going to kill it. He's got green eyes. He does great acting. I think he's going to kill it as Jon Stewart. But I think people's complaints are very valid.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's not something I would ever think about, but when you said it out loud, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Next story we have. Who is your favorite Spider-Man?
There's only one answer now.
There's only one answer now. So if you don't
Garfield.
know, Andrew Garfield during his appearance on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Horowitz, Andrew Garfield spoke from his heart about the ongoing situation in Gaza. He emphasized the importance of like channeling our energy and compassion and attention towards the people of Gaza during this difficult time. He says that's where we need to put our hearts and minds. That's where it matters. He said this in a podcast that was, the host was Jewish and the audience went crazy for it, and everyone's like, oh, the answer to this question of who's the best Spider-Man is clearly over now. And to be honest, like I've been saying that since like Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and
we've been saying that,
saying it, but we love him. But like the thing that like I really liked it is that it really does encompass Spider-Man with the great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
And that is just a great way for him to like show that. Even though I think in his Spider-Man movie, they actually never say with great power comes great responsibility. They say it in a different way, which I think is even more valid to this situation. And the quote is, if you can do good things for other people, you have a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he encompasses that. Like that is such a good thing, man. I'm a big fan of Andrew Garfield.
You could see how uncomfortable he was the moment he said it. Like I could see the fear in him almost. Like he's like, I may have screwed up a lot of things for myself going forward. But this had to be said. Like he was being so courageous there. Like you saw him like looking away, holding his own like finger, like that's the thing you do when you're like nervous and you're essentially giving yourself a hug. It's like a little thing people do, right? Like across their arms, like when people are like in that situation, right? And so the slightest version of that is like you take your hand and like grab part of your other hand, right? Like he wants to comfort himself in that situation because he's not okay right now. What he's doing is potentially harmful to his future earnings.
Yeah.
But he was being extremely courageous and he went through with it. Like it was so good.
And it's such a big deal because he is Jewish himself, right? Which is huge for him to say. And then I thought somebody left this quote on, or this comment, and it said, not everyone knows what it means to say this at 92Y, a place where all the board members are Zionists. They once canceled an event of a writer who criticized Israel. So speaking up here is braver than you think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, holy crap. Like,
right?
Yeah, he's Spider-Man, man. Like, that's all there is to it.
That was my favorite story. That was the best story that we shared. I was really, really happy about that. All right. The next story that we have, I don't know if a lot of you have seen this, but Simu Liu, our Shang-Chi, has been in the news recently because he was on his show. It was called Dragon's Den, which is a Canadian
Shark Tank, but
version of Shark Tank. And this Quebec couple came in and tried to like culturally appropriate boba tea. And they were like, it's not boba tea. We added an extra B in there. And what they did was like, we don't know what's in boba tea, but like this, what's in there, which is so problematic. This like these Asian people, we don't know what's in their weird ass drink, which every Asian person would be like, yes,
milk,
tea, and sugar and boba.
Sugar. Yeah. Like
tapioca starch.
It's not difficult.
It's 4 ingredients. Like there's more crazy ingredients in like a French fry at McDonald's or whatever. Like I don't even think those are potatoes. I don't know what they are. But seriously, it was so horrible to see that. And I'm glad Simu spoke up and talk about it. But also the Indian lady there, I think her name is like Manjeet or something. She criticized him but being too harsh, and she invested in the company. Like first of all, how can you be Indian and do that is my question. Because number one, that's how we got chai tea, first of all.
It's a betrayal.
That's how they got chai tea. That's how yoga is more synonymous with white girl in tight pants than it is with a spiritual religious practice. Right?
Yeah.
They try to do it with lengas as a two-piece dress. They try to do it with dubuttas as Scandinavian scarves. Like, they've been doing this to us over and over again. You should know better.
Hey man, for them it's all about money. They're dragons.
Well, I'm glad Simulu spoke up about it, because that was crazy. And then a lot of people are like, yeah, this company doesn't deserve any of our attention or any of our money.
No, absolutely not.
And
Put it on the boycott list.
whoever this lady is that invested $1 million and for 30%,
I hope she loses that investment.
I hope she loses that investment. Yeah, like, come on, man,
Yeah.
you got to know better. It'd be our own people. It'd be our own. That's crazy.
Always, yeah. Like, that's just straight up a betrayal. Like, we have an Asian brother here saying, "Hey, this is problematic."
Yeah,
And then we just go in and like, yeah, no, that's a betrayal.
that's crazy. It's like coming out with like some chai, but we're gonna spell chai with Y instead of an I, and it's white now. It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah, I'd be heated in that case.
That was disappointing, man. I'm really disappointed, but I don't know. We'll see.
Their own always.
And then finally, our last story. Love is Blind just came out, which we got to do. We got to find to do it this week.
It's funny. I started watching Love is Blind Habibi last night.
We got to do that one too. Oh my god, there's so many episodes. It's hard to get through them.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll tell you one thing. Habibi was really appropriate in representation.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, it's a terrible thing.
Oh no, yeah, I hear it's pretty bad. For both the men
they
and the women.
reflected a lot of my friends very well, and that's not because my friends are good people. So,
oh god.
I mean,
Well,
I'm just kidding. I don't have friends, and Eve, you're my only friend.
all right. Listen, this guy Ramses, I believe his name is, from Love is Blind. He
Season
was in
7, which is in DC, not in the Arab world. Yes.
Yeah, Season 7 in DC. He actually brought up Palestine, U.S. imperialism, and the military-industrial complex, which is like, wow. I never thought I'd see something like that. I thought that was really, really interesting. And for him, like, basically the situation was he got married on this show, right? Well, not married. Sorry, we don't know that yet. That didn't come out. I think he got engaged on the show. And he says some of the things that we differed on was the military. And the girl was like, yeah, usually whenever I tell anybody I'm in the military, I get like all these praises and thank you for your service. He was the first guy to ever be like, I don't know about that, right? And he's like, well, listen, you're out there killing people. And because of U.S. imperialism, you're killing people who haven't really done anything to us. You're killing people based on lies. There are no weapons of mass destruction. There's no freedom that needs to be instilled here. You're doing it for oil. You're doing it for other reasons, strategic military reasons. And things like that are why I feel like your politics are, tied to your ethics, right? And it's a morality thing for him. And I was like, that's fair, but Netflix left this in. I was surprised. And then he goes on to
confusing.
say, yeah, and then he goes on to say, we talked about this, like we differ on these things like Palestine. And I always, feel for the people that are under the boot of U.S. imperialism. And I feel for the people that are oppressed. And I was like, that's so amazing to see someone say that on Love is Blind, for them not to take it out, to get this on mainstream media, I think is huge. And it does feel like the tide is changing, because after 9/11, like I remember, like you couldn't say anything about the troops. Like even if you were brown, you'd be like, yes, thank you, troops. Thank you for killing all our people. Like it was like you couldn't say anything. Or you get hate crime. And now it's like, I don't know. I feel like the tides are changing where people are like, hey, listen, some of these people that we're killing don't deserve what's happening over there. We're destabilizing these regions. And then when things happen, we come in and we interfere and make things worse.
Yeah. I have an uncle who's in the military. Uncle, like, he's a good friend of my dad's.
Sure.
Not blood related, but like, I've had this conversation with him a few times. Like, has there ever been a moment that you've had to question your morals and what you're doing? And he said, Yes, but he would not elaborate on that, and I'm like, all right.
It's tough,
I'm
man.
not going to press further, but yeah, it's tough out there for the soldiers too.
It's
like,
tough out there,
I'm
and
not trying
like
to be pro soldier, but like understand they're also dealing with a lot of shit that goes on with it.
I was pro soldier for a long time, and I for part of me still is, because for me, the way I see it is, I rather have some good people out there than just have all the crazies and races and the bad ones out there, right? So like,
Yeah,
the more good people that could be in the military, the more Muslims that could be in the military, the more like the better it might go for some. The more accountability there may be, the more possibility of changing things from the inside, because you can't not have an army. That's
right. Yeah,
not
there's
possible.
no way.
Right. And, I don't necessarily think that we should have a weak army. Like, we should have a strong army.
Yes,
but
we need the imperialism.
It's so complicated, but I don't know. I thought that was a really good conversation to be had.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a conversation that needed to be had. Yes.
I think it's ironic though that, like, I don't know. I haven't seen Love Is Blind Habibi, but do you think the fact that like they don't talk about Palestine or anything like imperialism or US or anything in that show, but they do talk about it in this show, they would be kind of ironic to me.
So I got some really bad news for you.
What?
They don't talk about Palestine in that one at all.
But doesn't it take place in Lebanon?
They don't talk about it at all.
Damn.
And I remember reading an article saying that like the one guy who said that he's proud of his Palestinian heritage, that was cut out.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like I mean, I get, because that's not what the show is about. It's about finding love and stuff like that. But and they don't want to detract from the main story. But still, I feel like they should have left it in.
They should have. And also, a lot of the men are problematic. It's pretty bad.
Then maybe they shouldn't show that he's Palestinian if he's going to be problematic. It might not make him look good.
Like, they didn't show him at all. Like,
oh, they didn't show him at all. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was really cool though. The cool thing is, he said that they disagreed about Palestine and military imperialism. And then I go to this his fiance's Instagram page. She just graduated law school, and she wearing a keffiyeh.
Oh hell yeah!
He converted her.
I love it.
That's so cool.
This is diplomacy in its finest.
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all, man.
Like she's literally wearing a keffiyeh at her graduation, and I'm just like, and then her, and it's not a coincidence, because then I look on her page and her highlights, they're all about Palestine.
I love it.
So he said on the show that they disagreed on military and Palestine, and then you see her page and it's all about Palestine, and I'm just like, that's so cool.
Homie did it.
That was really cool. Though I have heard that if you watch more episodes, he ends up being problematic. Like, damn it.
God damn it. God damn it.
We almost had one. We almost had it.
I was so happy for a second.
I know. I was so emotional. I was like, that's so cool.
I hate it.
I know. It sucks to be here sometimes. It's like all these like Muslim guys, they're like so passionate about like, politics and Palestine, and you feel like, oh, they're making great efforts, and then when you find out they're just like not good, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's how I felt on Love Is Blind Habibi. I'm just like, oh, these guys seem nice. And then later throughout the show, you're just like, oh no. Nope.
I heard the girls were bad too. Like one of the girls was like, I'm just rude sometimes. And she was like being rude to the waitress. And I saw a clip where she was just like being
Yo. I never liked her from the beginning.
There's okay, because they're like not just the men that are problematic, there's the women too.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I am a mother.
So you know what's funny about that one?
What?
After one episode, when I got over her pretty face,
yeah,
and I really looked at her,
yeah,
Atif and I were watching this, and I was like, Atif, this girl's lying. She's only in it for the views.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, I don't know if that's true or not, but like, I could just tell, like, she's not sincerely there.
Well, a lot of people talked about how they went back and looked at the history of all the people that are on the show, and they were all like, the women were all influencers. They all had like crazy like followers and stuff like that.
Yeah. The one I do like, though, I mean, I'm glad she found her person. Her name is Safa.
Yeah, spoilers. That's fine.
That's episode 1.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Well, we also did kind of.
Anyway, she was like the oldest one there. She's like a woman like in finance, and like
She was looking for a guy in finance, 6'5".
she was not looking for a guy in finance. But like, she found her guy, and I was like, yes, she's a queen. I'm glad she's happy, and I hope they make it.
Good. All right. Well, that's all the news we have for you guys for this week. Guys, follow us on our Instagram page, Salaam Nerds Podcast. We post all the news, and then at the end of the week, we review the news. So not only will you get to hear stuff from us, breaking news first, you'll also get to hear us talk about it afterwards. So that's cool.
I love it.
All right. Now it's time.
For the moment you're all waiting for. Like, this is what you're really here.
This is the main part of the podcast. The moment you're all waiting for.
Forget the news.
Salaam Nerd Facts. Are you ready, Jazz?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
We're like, what, 3 weeks behind?
We're on August 21st. And right now it's October 13th. Oh. We haven't done a lot of these. Oh my God. We're very behind.
All right.
Let's do it. In 1919, an exploding storage tank flooded the streets of Boston with a wave of molasses 15 feet high. This would be interesting if I knew what molasses were. Think of it as syrup. Oh, okay. 15 feet high, goddamn! Imagine syrup 15 feet high.
The way it just clicked in your head.
It's just like 15 feet high. That's crazy. That's
so funny.
All right, next one. It would take 7 billion particles of fog to fill a teaspoon. Fog, F-O-G.
Whoa. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. 7 billion particles. That's crazy.
Yeah. Particles are tiny as shit, dude. Like,
yeah. That is cool. All right. That is true. Particles are tiny. Ever heard of cryovolcanoes? It's a volcano that shoots out ice rather than lava. Cryovolcanoes only exist in outer space, and they can be found on icy moons. That is the dopest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I want to know the science behind that. Like,
I want to name a band cryovolcanoes.
How does it erupt?
That's what she said.
Oh, gases. Because liquid water, ammonia, and then got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh man, that's crazy. It shoots ice instead of lava.
Yeah,
it's like the opposite of a volcano.
Kind of.
Right? Like if you had a volcano in opposite land, what would you want it to do? Shoot ice.
No, I want the lava to go back into the earth with it.
All right. Opposites can have more than one meaning. But I think that's cool. I think that was super cool. That was a cool one. I like that fact. That was my. I think
that's good. That was one of my favorites.
This might be the Hall of Fame fact.
Honestly, yeah, like that's something I didn't know. It's something I learned about. Like that's cool.
I know cryovolcanoes.
Yeah, great.
You know, I actually came up with an idea for another podcast name. I know cryovolcano sounds like a cool podcast name, but I thought of another one. What I want to do is I want to have a Salaam Nerds all-female channel.
Yo.
And guess what I'm going to call it? What? The Salaam Witch Trials. Tell me that's not a great name for a podcast.
That's awesome.
Right? So we're going to have a channel on our podcast. We're going to dedicate it to just women. And it's going to be about whatever they want to talk about. And we'll edit the podcast. We'll be producers
and
on
promote it. Yeah.
And promote it. And if we have money, we'll pay them. If we don't, we'll have them come on until we can pay them. And
they will be paid an equal amount to us.
Yes. And
we don't make money right now. So it's all equal at zero.
Bro, do you know how much money we made since January?
How much?
$14.
Like, hey, we did it
in 10 months. Oh,
$1 a month. Let's go.
We struggling, bro. We struggling. We have no money. All of this comes out of our own pockets. StreamYard costs money. The editing tools cost money. The storage tools cost money. We're like so all this equipment podcast costs money. We're in the hole.
Yeah.
But the real money, the real treasure is the friends we made along the way.
The friends we made along the way. I love it.
But yes, coming soon next year, Salaam Witch Trials, all female podcast on our show. Check it out. Maybe they'll talk about books. Maybe they'll talk about the Salem Witch Trials. Maybe they'll talk about jinns. Who knows what they'll talk about? We're gonna figure this out. All right.
Let's do it.
Next one. A jellyfish with tentacles measuring 120 feet washed ashore in Massachusetts Bay in 1870. A jellyfish with tentacles that are 120 feet.
Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Tentacles. 120 feet. You hit it right. It wasn't testicles.
Okay.
Tentacles.
All right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Insane.
Thank you for that clarification, by the way, because I totally.
You ever? No, it's really funny because I just saw a comic strip where this guy was getting a tattoo, and like the tattoo artist is doing a tattoo on his back, and he goes, "Man, these tentacles are gonna look so cool," and the artist goes, "Oh, tentacles," and you see just like the outline. That's what made me think of that. Oh man, this is the part of the podcast where we get silly.
I love it.
It is. If you take your age and you multiply it by 7, then multiply it by 1,443, the product repeats your age 3 times. The fuck?
Okay, hang on. Calculator. 7 times
Your
1,443.
No, you take your age, multiply it by 7, then multiply it by 1,443.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because 7 times 1,443 is 1,0101.
Oh, okay. I
was wondering the math trick behind it. That's why.
Yeah, that's a boo. Tomato,
yeah. Now, if you're, then I think if you're over the age of 100, this wouldn't work because you'd have 3 digits as opposed to 2 digits.
All right. Next one. Jazz, what do you think is the most shoplifted book in the world?
The Bible.
Damn, my boy, wicked smart.
I've heard that one before. That's
Oh, you heard that one? I thought because you stole a bunch of them.
Yeah, you see all the books behind me? They're all Bibles.
They're all Bibles. The King James version, the King LeBron version. I don't know how many other kings there are. All right. I don't know what this word is. Castorium. Do you know what that is?
Maybe. I don't know what the way you're saying it.
Is beaver anal juice.
Yes.
And it's
that's that substance. It's also in platypi. Yeah. Platypus
is most commonly found as a flavor enhancer in raspberry products. So if you're eating something that has raspberry products in it, you're most likely eating beaver anal juice.
I mean, yes.
This is why you got to go halal or kosher. Read your ingredients. You got to make sure it's halal, kosher, or vegan because that is nasty.
Yeah.
Ew, that's nasty. All right. On any given day, 400 million people across the globe will have sexual intercourse, which means that about 4,000 people are probably doing it right now.
I like how you went quiet there.
I was like, oh no, this is not going very halal right now. We're going in a different direction. I got really scared.
Okay, it's not haram if you're married, right?
That is
true. It's okay.
That is true. It's not. All right. You know, I always thought about it. We should make our podcast more like PG. Like right now, I feel like we're at like PG-13. Sometimes the borderline radar.
Sometimes like a full R-rated, like, or if not, like NC-17 or whatever.
Sometimes I wonder if we would be more palatable and successful if we kept our podcast PG.
You know what? We do got to split off with halal or Salaam nerds and haram nerds.
We do. I don't know.
Give me one haram nerds episode a week so I can go unfiltered.
Yeah. Well, it'll be on our, Patreon. All right. Mm-hmm. A Rubik's Cube has, I don't even know this number.
Oh, that's a big number.
That's a big number. Hold on. I'm just going to show you guys this number.
Yeah.
What number is that?
Thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, quintillion.
43
quintillion.
Possible configuration.
I'll say it. 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3,274,489,856,000 possible combinations.
Damn, my boy, wicked smart. He can read numbers.
I can read numbers.
He can read numbers. I was like, this is 43 something. I had a full-blown panic attack.
I had to count
yeah.
Did
you know red hair is the rarest human hair color? Only 1 to 2% of the population are redheads.
Huh. Now that you say that, it makes sense. Yeah. Never thought about it, but yeah.
And they're all in Ireland. Have you ever seen a redhead from South Asia?
No.
I have. They're in the northern Pakistan, Afghan area. It's really cool. They look really cool.
I thought it was like Mandy or something that they put in their hair.
No, because it's for kids and stuff too. So I think they're really redhead. But yeah, I know when sometimes they put Mindy in there, it looks red.
Yeah. Or
most bank robberies occur on a Friday because nothing says enjoy the weekend like all the money you stole.
I love it.
That's funny. That is pretty good. Ew. Okay. This one is.
You gotta say it now.
All right. Rats laugh when you tickle them.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
What? What do you mean that makes sense?
Oh, we had to handle mice in our genetics lab back when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And
you would tickle them?
I would not tickle them, but
Okay.
sometimes you could kind of hear it
Or what? Or what, Jazz? Please go on.
They were being tickled, just by casual
What do you mean they would laugh? Did you tell them a joke?
No,
were they doing stand up?
Yeah.
I've never
even crocodiles, do you see the way they smile when you pet them or whatnot? They enjoy it so much. Yeah, it makes sense.
I've never seen a crocodile smile. What do you mean?
What? You've never seen those videos?
That's just how their face looks. It's not a real smile.
I mean, maybe not a real smile, but
all right. I don't care about rats being laughing. I don't care about their happiness. All right, next one. An astronaut can be up to 2 inches taller returning from space. The cartilage disc in their spine expands in the absence of gravity.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
2 inches? Yo, I could get a girl in space.
You're gonna be 6 feet in space?
I could be 6 feet in space, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, Elon. Let's get space travel here for everybody. Let's go.
Yo, I can actually bag a brown girl in Mars. Let's go.
You do realize Mars has gravity, though, right?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the moon. Maybe the moon.
You do realize the moon has gravity, right?
A little bit of gravity. It's fine.
Yeah, it's only a 1/6 of the Earth's, but
I'll just get the extra 1 inch then, and then lie about the other.
You know what?
Like the men do here.
You want me to keep this halal, right?
Yes, halal is halal.
Because we're talking about adding an extra inch and lying about the other inch. You know where I'm going with this.
No, we're keeping it halal.
Okay, fine.
I mean, we don't know any kids that listen to our show, but just in case in the future we want to go all halal. All right. What are we doing on time? Okay, we got a few more. All right. Males of some praying mantis species cannot copulate while their head is attached. The female initiates sex by ripping the male's head off. That's like the opposite of getting head.
We were supposed to keep this halal, and it's like,
I know,
I was going off the rails.
I couldn't resist. That was
this fucker.
Oh my god! So a praying mantis, some of them cannot copulate while their heads are attached. So the females must rip their heads off before initiating sex. unfortunate for them.
And then they eat the remains as a snack.
I mean, I hope they do. It's wasteful, but no, I don't know if they do. That's crazy that they rip off their heads while doing it. But that's like I get having your head cut off like after you do it. Like at least, hey, not a bad way to go. But like before it even starts, like that's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, that's terrible. Then your brain can't even process how it
Yeah.
feels. Yeah, terrible.
No.
Whoever allowed praying mantis to evolve evolutionary lead that way, yeah, we failed them. Natural selection did not work out for them.
I'm sure the praying mantis didn't pray for this.
No, absolutely not.
No, definitely not. All right. Humans actually have 9 senses, not 5, including thermoception, the sense of heat or its absence on our skin.
Yeah, we do.
Wait, why would they give us one and not the other?
You know what?
We gotta look this up.
It said we have 9?
We have 9 senses. Spider sense is probably the other one.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And then the heat one. I think there's got to be. Damn, that's crazy. So we can actually sense heat or the absence of heat. That makes sense because that's not the same thing as touch. That is a sense.
Yeah, because we can feel heat without touching something.
Right?
Yeah.
And same thing with coldness. That's crazy. But now we got to know what the other ones are. That's just 6. We need 3 more.
So apparently there could be up to 20 depending on how you classify them.
This is like the gender thing all over again. How many genders are there?
Oh, okay, this makes sense. Okay, so yeah, we detect temperature.
Okay. What else?
Really? That's okay. No, hold on. That's not correct. 9. I'm just typing 9.
Yeah, because like we can't leave our audience hanging. Can't just tell them.
Okay, so they're separating pain from like touch.
Yeah, I would classify that together.
Yeah. Okay.
What about
now
emotional
this
pain?
one?
Is that what they mean? Because baby girl, I've been through that.
So thermoception is one of them.
Yeah, thermoception.
Which is right. Yeah. Nociception is the perception of pain.
Okay.
Equilibrioception, which is a perception of balance.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
That one makes sense.
That one makes sense.
Yeah.
Low-key kind of spider sensey, but yeah.
Proprioception. The sense of, but that's, oh, well, okay, this one's, all right. It's the sense of body awareness or knowing which parts of your body are where without looking at them.
I can
like
see
muscle
that.
memory, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of get that.
Like, you know, when you're waking up and you're not even, your eyes aren't open, but you can shut your alarm off immediately.
Oh, yeah. Because you're just aware of it.
Yeah. It's just awareness of everything around you.
That's cool. Is that all of them?
Yeah, I mean, beyond the 5 classical, yeah, these were the other 4.
Cool.
The pain one, you and I were like, that doesn't really, oh man, we're not touching. It is a different perception of like, yeah, I see that. I
guess so. I guess like if someone just like presented it in a certain way, you could probably give it that. But yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
it's almost like
chronoception, like us sensing time and how time passes. But that's also not like a physical sense.
But only I kind of understand how like spider sense would actually work, right? Because like if you think about it, like if spider senses were real, right? Some spider sense, and like basically you're like blocking a punch behind you. That's the sense that you mentioned, the alarm clock one. You're just like awareness. Number 2, you feel touch because basically like the air pressure changes. So you can kind of feel the change in air pressure. You can, if someone gets closer to you, their body heat is near you. So you get like that thermoception.
Yeah, so, you can theoretically see it, hear them coming up, smell them.
So basically
tasting them would be weird, but
but if you put all of these extra like 4 senses together, and heighten them, it explains spider sense.
Yep.
If it just explains spider sense, it's basically that's
So
what it is.
10 senses.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think all of them put together equal a spider sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just discovered how spider sense works. I think we got to drop the episode here. I think that's it.
Okay.
That's where we drop it. Well, thank you everybody for checking out our podcast. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Every Sunday we do 10:30 p.m. Eastern, unless I'm traveling to a city that doesn't have Wi-Fi. But usually we do this every
They
Sunday.
all have Wi-Fi. You just refuse to pay for it.
No, some of them don't even let you pay for it. They're just really bad.
Okay.
I mean,
We gotta get you on Xfinity Wi-Fi, man.
I got to get the hotspots. That's what I need to do. We'll see. But listen, guys, we definitely need the reviews. Please do give us good reviews. It helps with the algorithm, helps people find us, gives us credibility. And, say something nice about me because I had a bad day. Anyway, thank you, guys. Don't forget, follow us on our Instagram page now because we do news stories on our Instagram to be the first to find out what's happening in entertainment. And till next time, guys, Salaam, nerds.
Peace.